All right, before you dive into your program, there are a few key concepts you need to understand when it comes to actually reading and executing the program. These are things like sets, reps, tempo, rest, and reps in reserve, or rate of perceived exertion. Basically how hard you're working. So we have all of these and I want to break them down for you so there's no questions in your mind when it comes to actually going to the gym and doing a session. We'll start with the most straightforward concepts that you've probably heard of before. So let's go with sets, reps, and rest. A set is basically an amount of reps you do in a row. And one rep is one execution of the exercise. So let's take squats, for example. If you're going to do 3 sets of 10 reps, this means you're going to do 10 squats in a row. You're going to rest. You're going to do 10 squats in a row again, rest, and you're going to do a third set of 10 reps in a row again, and you're going to rest. So as I said, that is the most straightforward concept probably in the programming. The rest is equally as important. Lots of people will skip the rest in the gym or make it a little bit shorter, just try and make their gym session faster. But people don't realize that rest intrinsically links with sets, reps, and how hard you're working. If you do not rest the full amount that has been prescribed, you're not going to be strong enough for your next set. The lower the reps that you are doing, the heavier the weight is that you're using, and the more rest you actually need, which can be quite counterintuitive because if people look at a program and they see this exercise has 5 reps and this exercise has 15 reps, they think, well, I must be working harder for the 15 reps. Therefore, why do I need so much more rest for the 5 rep exercise? And that's because when you're doing a 5 rep exercise, you are working so hard that you can't do 6 reps. The weight is so heavy that you couldn't do another rep and actually do 6 or do the 15 reps like this other exercise. Whereas for this other exercise here, if you're doing 15 reps in a row, that's in a more endurance range. That's going to be a lighter weight than what you're using over here. Therefore, you're not going to get as exhausted and you're not actually going to need as much rest. So the main takeaway here is please follow the rest breaks that are actually assigned for you. You will see longer rest breaks for lower rep exercises and you'll see shorter rest breaks for higher rep exercises. As you may have picked up on, different rep ranges have different purposes. If you are training with a really high rep range, that is more endurance. For example, when you think endurance, you think you can do something over and over and over and over again. You're going to be using lighter weights and doing more reps. You may see things in the range of about 15 to 20 for the endurance range. No matter what range you're exercising in, doing weight training is going to help you grow muscle. But if we're talking more strictly with purpose of the reps, the mid-range is really good for muscle building. So if your goal is to gain muscle, to tone up and to look fitter, you'll notice you have more reps in the 8 to 12 range. Next level down, when we look at strength training, if your goal is to get stronger and to actually move more weight, you'll notice that you have reps more in the range of 5 to 8, or approximately around that mark. Lastly, we have the power range. So this is more around 1 to 3 reps. This is what you see people doing if they're doing powerlifting. When they're aiming to lift as much weight as possible and max out with 1 rep, they'll be training in the 1 to 3 rep range. As I said, there is crossover between all of these ranges. All of them will make you stronger. All of them will make you gain more muscle. Now, while these are rough guidelines of why things will be assigned, as I mentioned, there's lots of crossover between this range. So you will see a variety of rep ranges throughout your whole program. For example, at the start of your session, you're much more likely to see reps in the lower rep range, somewhere around the 5 to 10 mark. And then at the end of your session, when you have lighter exercises or isolation exercises, you'll see this is more in the endurance range or the high end of the muscle building range. So you may see more like a 12 to 15 rep range to finish off your session.